next recipe I want to show you is inspired by my Foods of North Africa and the Middle East class. I love the flavours from that part of the world, and these lamb burgers kind of use some of the ingredients such as preserved lemons, feta cheese and cumin. It's a great dish if you're kind of, coming home from work during the week, you're tired, you don't want to spend too long in the kitchen, yet at the same time you want something that's really satisfying, but fresh and tasty as well. So the first thing we're going to do is toast some cumin seeds. Now, of course, if you want, you can just use some ground cumin from your cupboard if you have come home from work and it's late. And then we're going to use our pestle and mortar to grind it down. At this point, you really do need to stand over them because they can burn very, very quickly. So you can see them popping here, a few of them. And then you want to take them off before they get burnt. So just pop them into your pestle and mortar. This is the point in time where if someone's been getting on your nerves all day, you just go. That's why it's a perfect after work dinner. So now they've been ground down to a fine powder. The next thing we're going to do is get our lamb mince. We're going to add some red onion, nice generous amount of red onion, and some feta cheese. You can crumble it in. I have a clove of garlic finely chopped, and then I'm going to break up an egg. Maybe just don't add it all in the one go. Hold a little bit back just in case it's too wet. The next thing I'm going to add in is some fresh oregano, which I just picked from the garden. And actually oregano is a great herb to grow in the garden, and it's so much nicer than the dried version. And in they go. Gorgeous flavour, gorgeous scent. And I have a little bit of freshly chopped flat leaf parsley going in. And one of my most favourite ingredients of all, preserved lemons. I can't open it. Hang on a sec, George, I'll just... Oh, there we go. Okay. Preserved lemons. So, we just give it a rough chop. And the idea is that every time you bite into your burger, you get just a little taste of the preserved lemon. Into the bowl. And then last but not least, our gorgeous freshly ground cumin. So about a teaspoon going in. Get your hands in. I think it's so important to feel the food. You understand so much better when you understand and feel the texture of your food. So we're just going to take a little bit of the burger mix and we're going to cook it on the pan just to check for seasoning. And I haven't put any salt in yet on purpose because the feta cheese is quite salty itself. And I'm not even going to add any fat to the pan because, it's only a tiny bit and the meat will release its fat. So this is cooked through now, and I'm just going to have a little taste, see how it is. Absolutely gorgeous. Now I think I will just add a little bit of salt to it now. So now we're just going to shape our patties. I'm just going to take about a good handful of the mixture, and I'm just going to kind of roll it into a bit of a ball and flatten it out in my hand. Again, I'm not compressing it too much. I suppose really these are actually a bit of a take on a lamb kofta. And I just have one little mini one left for my 2-year-old daughter. So now we're ready to cook our lamb burgers. So I find a griddle pan is great for this job, but any frying pan will do. You just want to make sure that your pan is good and hot. And you mightn't even need any oil on your pan if you have a non-stick pan, because the lamb actually will give out a bit of its own natural fat. And on we go with our lamb. So I'm going to make the raita now, which is a gorgeous, really kind of light little accompaniment. I think it's worth doing it. The garlic, the mint, the cucumber, the yogurt just sit really nice next to the sort of cumin richness of the lamb. So I have a cucumber here. I'm just going to cut it in half, scrape the seeds out of the middle of the cucumber. To be honest, I find it makes the raita very, very watery. We're just going to chop the cucumber into fairly small size pieces. They don't have to be tiny though, because it's quite nice to give a bit of texture. So pop that into the bottom of our bowl. And the next thing we're going to put in is a little bit of grated garlic. I quite like to grate it for this recipe because I just want it really, really fine. And we're going to add that into the cucumber then. Now I want to add some nice fresh mint leaves. So I'm just going to take the leaves off the stalk. So you can see I'm just rolling them up quite casually and then finely chopped. Pop those in. And then the last thing we want, I've got this lovely natural yogurt from Glenisk. Just going to pour it in, and we're just going to combine that probably will pop a little bit of lemon juice in. You'll probably notice I use a lot of lemon juice and lemon zest. I just think it really lifts the flavour. And I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And of course, the little bit of lemon juice I was talking about. And now we're ready to go and see how our lamb burgers are doing. So the lamb burgers are ready, and I'm going to remove them onto a warmed dish and just let them rest for a few minutes while I get the pittas organised. And all I'm going to do is pop them into the toaster. Okay, so I'm just going to run my knife along the edge and open up the pittas. I'm just going to pop my lamb burger into the pita pocket, top it with some of our gorgeous Raita, and pop a few mixed leaves in. And there's our gorgeous lamb burger.